I am so excited to be here tonight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to you guys can hear me clearly, right? If you can hear
Yes.
me, that's good. You can see me as well. Okay, before I get started, I'm going to say thank you so much for having me once again here on this platform. I had a ball the last time. It was amazing. I mean, we had such a great time, right, Rodrigo? We had such a great time the last time during the last program in the last conference during the past summer in 2020. It was amazing. There are a lot of people who were participating, and we had so many people from all over the world. And today again, we're here. Today is I'm actually in the U.S. It's Monday night here, and it's February 1st. I know for some of you guys, you guys are already on Tuesday, the February 2nd. That's funny, right?
Yes.
Um, I know, but we're gonna get started right away. I'm gonna let you know. You're gonna let me know if you see my screen, okay? I'm gonna give it a try. You let me know if you see my screen, and you tell me what you see on my screen. 1 second, please. Okay.
Okay, I'm so glad you can hear me well. Let's get started. My name is Lucie Matoka. I'm excited to be here, guys. And for those of you who meet me for the first time, I am a senior professional career coach. It's just a fancy word to say that I help people look good on paper before they go to a job interview. That's all I do. Okay, either on the paper, for the resume, or even I can teach you how to present yourself well for that job interview. But when people hear what I do, they usually ask themselves, well, why is it that you talk about leadership or why you talk about entrepreneurship? Number one, I am an entrepreneur. And number two, I believe in leaders like you, the leaders of tomorrow. And and the leadership is extremely important when you want to change the world and want to create an impact. And I strongly believe that if I can help even one or two or three people only by giving them the right tools to better their career in the future, that's actually amazing, right? That's the reason why I do what I do. So we're gonna get started. I decided to design this training called "You Can Make a Difference, but You Cannot Do It Alone." So before you will get into that, I'm going to try to guess who you guys are. Welcome first. Welcome from all over the world. I am right here in on the East Coast in the US, and I know some of you guys are here in Asia or in the continent of Africa or here in South America. And I love this map. When I found it, I was so excited, and I was like, I gotta use this for you guys because it represents diversity. It represents the fact that we are from so many places in the world, but we are hungry for the same thing. Okay, and this knowledge, it doesn't matter who you are, your background, your culture, your race, your education. I promise you, the type of information I'm going to share with you today is definitely going to help you for your career in the future. Okay, it's definitely going to help you. And the other thing is, look at what technology does. We can actually be here and listen to a training like this one from different parts of the world. So I'm excited about it. So we're going to talk about you. Let's focus on you right now. Okay, I'm going to try to guess who you are. Okay, I'm going to guess who you are. Now let me say this. I think I don't know you. I've never met you before, but I know about you. I know about you, and I'm gonna share a few things that I think I know about you, and then I think I'm right. Right. First of all, you guys are extremely, you're vibrant. You are so intelligent, smart, and young. You're passionate about so many things that are, are very important to you. You want to make a difference in the world, but sometimes you feel a little bit restrained, right? I'm pretty sure you feel sometimes a little bit restrained. And there is something that's usually um, young people say, or even myself, listen, they usually say things like, oh my gosh, those adults dropped the ball, right? How do I know this? Because I have two kids who are about, they're teenagers. My son is 17, my daughter is 13. And that's the type of language that I hear in the house. Sometimes they say things like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that person just say this. I cannot believe this person acts like this. I mean, they just they just confused sometimes. And I'm telling, and I know you are the same. You guys are very bright. And the reason why it's so important is because you guys are extremely important, and in order for you to be able to make a difference in the world and change the things that you don't like right now, the things that you see, there's several things that you see adults do and you don't like those things. And if you want to make a difference, you got to be prepared. Okay, you have to be prepared. That's the reason why we have this conversation now. I went online and I found some pictures, some random images. I'm going to show them to you. And I need you to, first of all, take a deep breath. And because I'm going to show you some pictures that are going to be filled with a lot of emotions. And I want you guys to be in touch with the way you feel right now about everything that I'm going to show you. Okay. Let's go with this image. This is a patient with COVID. Uh, this is a little baby girl, I believe so. She is hungry and she has that sign that says, I am hungry. And you have this baby here who, wow, he doesn't even need to say that he's hungry because his body tells you the whole story, right? The next one is obviously a woman who is maybe, I believe, victim of, how do you guys call this? Abuse, right? Domestic abuse. Certainly, I'm not sure who the person is, but this is abuse. You have this one that is very similar, but it's the opposite. It's a woman who abuses a man, and that is not okay, right? And then you have this little girl who has that sign that says, if you tell something, if you say something, maybe she's going to get hurt, maybe they're going to kill her or something, right? So she's being silenced. And now this one as well, silence. I'm not sure what it is, but it seems like it could be sexual abuse, right? And then you have this one. Oh my gosh, guys, you guys can see this. You guys obviously you know what it is. And he can't climb the stairs, of course, and we all know why. And that is pretty sad, right? And then you have the next one. I found this picture on the internet. And it was on the internet for last year. It went viral. This is a police officer who was pointing a gun at a baby. Now, how do you feel? What does it make you? How does it make you feel when you look at all those pictures? I want you guys to think about it for a moment, okay? Think about it the way you feel when you see that, okay? And then we're gonna move forward. What is the first reaction when you see things like that? I'm talking at first I talked about the way you feel. Now I want to see the reaction. How do you, when you feel a certain way about things that are happening around you, it doesn't have to be these examples that I gave you. It could be anything else. There's so many things that are happening, so many issues in the world as we speak. And it's not only here in the US, in your own country, everywhere. So what people usually do, there's so many people, there are different reactions that people have, and people react differently based on their background, their culture, their education, the way they see life in general, right? So I'm going to show you a few reactions. Okay, you're just going to follow along, and then we're going to continue. Okay, some people can be like, yeah, I don't care, I really don't care, it doesn't mean anything to me. Someone can be like, yeah, some people, when they see things like that, they literally indifferent. Why? Because it doesn't affect them. Okay, now some people are affected very emotionally. They cry because it makes them feel sad. Some people are angry. Now when you can be sad, you can be mad, you can be upset. But what do you do after that? Some people are going to choose to have a conversation and talk about that with the people that they, someone who can be next to them and listen so they can actually share the way they feel. Some people actually go out there and lash out on social media, which I don't usually recommend because you can get yourself in trouble that way by putting stuff on the internet that you just don't go out there and put things that you're going to regret later. Okay, just think twice before you post things on the internet. And the last but not least, some people are going to take action. Now if you are one of those who say, you know what, I don't like what I see around me, I don't like what I see in my neighborhood, I don't like what I see around the world, and I want to take action, I'm looking for you. Okay, now I'm going to show you, I'm going to walk you through a process, and I'm going to teach you a few things that you can do if you want to take action and be effective. Because There are different ways to take actions. And this, I want to show you a way to do things so that you can be effective. So let's go. There is a saying in French. I didn't tell you this before, but French is my first language. And in French, we say, si jeunesse savait et si vieillesse pouvait. This is the translation in English. But all it means is that, there are some people who, how sometimes old people usually, people who are a certain age, like maybe in the 60s and 80s, they usually look at the youth and they say, oh my gosh, I wish they knew this, I wish they knew that. The reason is simple. It's like young people sometimes, while they're still young and vibrant just like you, they have all the strength that they need actually to do to accomplish all the big goals in life. Unfortunately, they're a little bit distracted. Unfortunately, they waste time. Okay, let me just put it this way. So I want to show you two pictures, and you're going to pay attention to those two pictures. Here you have people who are having fun. Now, I'm not saying that having fun is not good. What I'm saying is, of course you can have fun. Of course you can enjoy your life. Of course you can do whatever you want to do. But be careful of not wasting time. Don't waste your time. Look at this man over here. Don't you think because of age, there's some the thing is, he actually looks like a very wise man, but he doesn't have the same level of energy that these guys. Look at him. He doesn't have the same level of energy that these young people. Now, can you imagine, if you can combine both? Because hear me well when I say this, guys. The reality is that, in order for you to make a difference, you're going to need strength and wisdom. Of course, you can decide, you can choose to learn from your mistake. There are different ways to learn in life, okay? Some people say, well, let me make my mistakes. Of course, it's okay to make mistakes. But there are two different ways to learn in life. You can choose to learn from other people's mistakes, or you can choose to learn from your mistakes. And sometimes it's better to learn from other people's mistakes and keep it going and keep it moving, because that way you actually move faster, and then you have an edge. Okay. Now let's talk about how to make a difference. What is it going to take for you to be able to make a difference and be efficient? And that's the key here. The first thing you're going to need is knowing why you want to do this. You got to know why. You got to figure out why you do this, and why should anyone care. You got to figure out how do you want to go about it. You got to figure out how you want to do it, so that you can do it the right way, and maybe attract people to help you do what you're supposed to do. Okay. And then you have to figure out what's the you expect to see. What is the result? What is the desired outcome? What are you trying to see? Okay. Those three things you guys have to figure out before you even get started. You got to plan. You got to sit down and figure out those three things. If you just go out there and you start working on a project or a program without planning ahead, without trying to figure out those three questions, I promise you, the adults that sometimes you criticize, when you look at those adults today leading the world, when you look at those people in your neighborhood, or those adults dropping the ball, like you all like to say, when you look at them, if you don't plan ahead, you're gonna end up becoming like them. Because unfortunately, sometimes people just get up and start doing things without even thinking. So I need you to think deep about how you want to go about this thing first. Okay. No matter what the project is. Okay. No matter what the project is, it doesn't matter what type of project it is, you gotta have to answer those three questions. Now, I talk a lot about adding value, and because it is important, you can never make a difference in someone's life without adding value to that person. You got to be able to add value to the person's life. You have to. To me, making a difference, it's basically adding value in people's lives. And for those of you who had a chance to listen to my presentation last summer, the topic was making your personal values the cornerstone of your life. And if you have a chance, go on the website, or on the internet, and you're going to find it on YouTube and everything. It's I cannot stress that enough. Making a difference means adding value, and in order for you to add value, you're going to need your gift and your talents to serve effectively. And I highlighted the word serve because you're not doing things to you're not doing things to abuse people. You're not using your gift and your talents to take advantage of people. You're using to serve people. Okay, your gift and your talents are not for you to serve yourself. It's for actually helping people, lifting people up, helping them, changing their lives. That's what you have to do with your gifts and your talents. Okay, and then there's one thing that is extremely key as well: belief. Belief is everything. So remember, value, service, and belief. Now let's talk about belief, because when I talk about belief, sometimes I ask someone, do you believe? And they say, yes, I believe. And I say, are you sure you believe? They say, absolutely, I believe. And I agree with you, but wait a minute, don't go too fast, because the type of belief that I'm going to talk about right now is going to be, it's different than just saying I believe, because you know what, let me do something. I'm going to challenge your belief system here. I'm going to challenge what you truly believe here, because there are so many things that you're going to have to define in order for you to get started. The first thing you have to define is, who are you? Who are you? What are your values? What are your principles? The second thing is, can you follow yourself? Like, listen to me, guys. When you go to the mirror and you look at yourself, can you follow yourself? Can you follow your own advice? These are questions you have to answer. What are you willing to fight for? What are you willing to invest your time, your energy, your money in? Are you willing to suffer or sacrifice for what you believe? Because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, guys. It does not come free. It's not going to be free. It's going to take a lot of energy, okay? A lot of yourself. So other than that, you're not going to be able to make it. I promise you. It just doesn't happen like that. Now, do you believe in your ability to change things? Okay. Now, I have a big warning for you, and it is a big warning, because that's this alone can definitely crush you. You know, we call them the dream stealers. The dream stealers are those people. Oh my goodness, I want to recommend you right now. Listen, hear me clearly when I say this. These are people that you have to avoid at any cost. You got to run away from them. You have to you really have to stay away. And when I share this with you, I mean this, because I know that they're out there. You know, the type of people who don't want to do anything with their lives, and whenever you want to try to do something, they start to they try to convince you that you can't do it. And you know why they do it like that? Because these are people who don't believe what they can't do anything. They don't believe in it, in being able to do anything, and they usually try to project their fear on you, and their self-doubt. So you got to be careful, because this is their language. They say things like, who do you think you are? That will never happen. You're not even from the right family. You don't have any money. You have no connection. So who knows you? Nobody can help you in that project. You have the wrong skin color. Have you heard that before? Or maybe you're from the wrong country, or from the wrong continent. People are going to tell you anything just to hold you back. Okay. They will say things like, no one will listen to you because you're a man, or because you're a woman, or because you're still a child, or maybe you're still too young, or you're too old, or you're too tall, or you're too short. I mean, they're just going to say all the things they want to say. And remember this, the reason why they say those things is because they do not believe, and they are afraid that you're going to believe, and you're going to run with your vision. And if you listen to that, if you pay attention, if you sit there and listen, the problem is, listen to me carefully. There is nobody is strong enough for negativity. It just doesn't exist. If you stay next to negative people long enough, it's just a matter of time before you become negative yourself. And this is what's going to this is how you're going to start to feel. You're going to feel down. You're going to doubt yourself, and you're going to start hiding. And if you start hiding, it's over, because you can never accomplish your goals and your dream. Let's move forwards. Stand up and lead. I found these pictures on the internet. Of course, we all know him. We call him Madiba, Nelson Mandela. The entire world knows who he is, and I mean who he was, and we can all learn from everything he did for the entire world. Now, this picture over here is before he went to prison. This one was while he was in prison, and this one is when he got released, when he was freed. He spent 27 years here just because he believed in what he wanted so much that they actually wanted to release him, and he was like, no, I am not going to leave this place until you give me what I want. That was the plan. This is it. He was ready to die in prison. That's how strong his belief was. Now, the reason why I use this his example is because leadership is a very complicated thing, and it requires so many things. But in the meantime, there are so many things that so many things cannot move until someone like Nelson Mandela, or someone like you, or anybody who sees something that is not going on the right way, or sees something that he believes is wrong in this neighborhood, on his neighborhood, in life, and everywhere in the world, and decides to make a change. Things are not going to change until someone stands up and says, you know what, enough is enough. So hear me clearly. Nothing happens without leadership. Nothing changes without leadership. Nothing develops without leadership. Nothing improves without leadership. Nothing is corrected without leadership. Nothing is done, literally. That's how simple it is. Nothing is done without leadership. So that's the reason why we need you guys. We need you. You guys are the leaders of tomorrow. There's so many things you have in you that you have to share with the world. And like I said, you don't have to become the next Nelson Mandela. It's okay. You can actually make a big difference right behind your house, right in your neighborhood, maybe at your school, maybe at your church, maybe in your city, your country, your anywhere. And remember this: if you can manage to help improve only one life, that's a big deal already. Okay. Now we're going to talk about who is a leader. A leader, this is the definition that I found from the dictionary, where they say a leader is someone who can see how things can improve, and rally people to move forwards, right? This is what the dictionary says. That is true. In the meantime, I prefer to show you some qualities of a leader. I mean, there's so many great qualities that true leaders, I would say. I'm not going to say just leader just to say, because some people think they're leaders when they are actually out there just hurting people. But a true leader has some qualities that I'm going to share with you right now: purpose, vision, passion, compassion, and integrity. Guys, compassion is a big deal. You can never, ever, ever lead people effectively if you don't love people. Trust me, guys. If you don't love people, you can't lead them. You cannot lead them. You're going to hurt them instead. You're going to break them. If you don't love human beings, you cannot lead them. So this is a big deal. You got to have integrity. It is hard, of course, but if you don't have integrity, rather, you're going to find yourself doing things for your own interest instead of the good of other people. Okay, let's move forward. The things that you're going to need. Oh, guys, you're going to need a lot of things. Um, I'm not trying to scare you, okay? But I'm actually breaking this down for you. Um, this is a training that I usually give to adults. But the reason why I decided to share this with you is because I believe in you so much, guys, and I believe you have so much to offer. And I know that if you learn these things early enough, it's you're not going to make the same mistakes. Like I said, you're not going to make the same mistakes that the people that you see and you complain about them. Sometimes you say, okay, these people don't know what to do, but it's going to give you an edge. So pay attention, okay? And again, this conference is recorded. So after that, be willing to go back and watch and take notes and do some exercise and sit down and think deep, okay? So these are the things that you're going to need. You're going to need a lot of knowledge, skills and everything, and you're going to need a mentor, guys. A mentor is someone who's going to actually guide you. And of course, sometimes people are like, well, I can do things by myself, or I'm on my own. No, 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 it's not possible. It's not possible. There's so many. Remember that everything that you're trying to accomplish right now, either someone already has done it, like either the exact same thing you're trying to do, maybe at another level or another scale, or someone else did something extremely similar and you can just copy. You don't have to figure out the whole thing. There are books out there. Some people, leaders, what they do is when they finish to do something and they feel like they had success in it, usually they write a book, or they write they have their biography out there. You can buy and read them. That's how you learn. Okay. And remember, it's okay to make mistakes. Okay. And don't be afraid to ask questions, guys. Don't be afraid. Now, something else that you're going to need is, this is a big deal, guys. You're going to need a lot of people. I mean, of course, not necessarily. It depends. It depends on the mission. Yes, let me just put it this way. It depends on what you're about to do. If you are willing to take on a big challenge, remember, there is no such a thing as being successful by yourself. It just doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Like, it doesn't exist. You're gonna need people to help you. And even when it comes to the knowledge, remember, it's still someone else's knowledge that you taking. You absorbing. You study. I learn a lot from books. I read every single day. I'm always learning. So here's the thing. Whatever you want to do, you want to see other people do, start doing the thing. Okay, you're gonna have to start. Even you have to start alone. Even if you have to stand alone, do it first, because this is what's gonna happen is when you're done, when take this first step and you're done and you have a result, then this is when I'm going to give you the permission to share it with someone or to a few people. Remember, I told you when I was talking about the naysayers or the dream stealers. I'm sorry. I was telling you that do not share your dreams with anybody, because people are out there just to get you, right. They just not. Some people are really just jealous, except your parents, of course. You can share your dreams and goals with your parents because they can actually help you. But at this point, I say, go ahead, start, work on your vision, make some type of progress, and then you can start sharing. The reason is simple. When you are effective at the first step, what's going to happen is, by sharing, some people can actually see and say, wait a minute, I want to join him, or I want to join her in that battle. And that's how you start recruiting people in your vision. And you got to be very consistent. Okay. So that's what you do. You do a little bit and you share, and you do a little bit and you share. You do a little bit and you share, and you're going to find yourself, before you know it. I'm telling you guys, I promise you, any leader listening to this call right now can definitely attest this. That's how you go from working on a project by yourself to gathering a few people to having a whole army behind you, just following your lead because they bought into your vision. But guess what? Remember, you got to do it first. You got to be about it, and you got to walk the walk. Okay, you got to do it. Right? Let's move on. I'm going to need you, the last thing I'm going to need you to do will be breaking the cycle. You need to break the cycle. What type of cycle I'm going to talk about? Remember, I talk about your belief. I'm talking about, I told you about your belief system. I told you that you needed to really know why you were doing it, because you needed to write down your vision. And once you have that vision and it's clear, and you know exactly what your purpose is, and you know exactly what you're about to do and what is the role that you have to play. Now there's so many things that you're going to have to eliminate in your life. And something is going to happen to you once you're clear about whatever you want to do to change your community, to change your country, to change your city, to change your district. Once you're clear about it, there's so many things that are going to fall off. Your vision is going to decide your future. Your vision is going to decide your friends, the books you read, how you use your time, how you use your energy. Your priorities are going to change. The things you watch on TV, the things you watch on social media. I mean, your hobbies, everything, guys. And I'm telling you, this is so real. Your vision is even going to choose the type of conversations you have. Okay, I'm telling you guys, it depends on where you're going. Like if you know you're going somewhere in the future, there's so many things that you find yourself eliminating because here is how it works, guys. You know how sometimes we say, if you know exactly where you're going, you also know the road that is not going to take you there. You know the roads that are not going to take you there. So it's easier for you to say no to certain things when you know exactly where you're going. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about the food you eat. I'm going to talk about the food you eat. And it's so funny how sometimes, I really can't help it. You might be asking yourself, but why? We're talking about vision. We're talking about purpose. We're talking about leadership. And then she comes here and she starts talking about the food. I cannot talk about your purpose and your future and your career without talking about how you feed yourself. You have to be careful because the way you treat your body is going to define if you make it or not. Because I promise you guys, if you do not take care of yourself, if you just go ahead and eat any type of, I'm not saying that you should not please yourself once in a while. What I'm saying is you cannot tell me that you expect to live a long life and then you find yourself eating the things that are not helping you staying healthy. Because the problem is, what if you get sick? What if you have a heart disease? What if you have a heart attack? What if you have diabetes and high cholesterol and high blood pressure and all those things and you get sick? And you know what I'm just even I'm gonna push it even further. What if you die? What if you die early just because you couldn't take care of your health? What if? What if you die early just because you neglected your body? Are you going to be able to fulfill your purpose? Are you going to be able to do the things that you wanted to do so badly? No. That's the reason why I can never talk about your career without talking about the things you eat. I can't. Okay? So, your friends, the books you read, of course, we talked about that, and the way you treat your body, right? Let's move forward. Guys, remember this. People don't buy what you do. They don't. They buy why you do it. Remember, we talked about it. Once you're going to be ready, once you're going to have your why figured out, the what's the process, how you're going to try to go about it, and the outcome. Once you're going to figure out the outcome that you want, you are going to understand that the people who are going to be attracted to your vision, to be maybe who are going to be attracted to what you're trying to accomplish, and who are going to be willing to put their time, their effort, their energy, and sometimes even your money to support you in anything you want to do. They're going to do it not because of what you do, because it appeals to what they're trying to do themselves. Because being when you start being productive, people take a look at they observe actually what you do, and if it appeals to what they believe in, they're going to join you, they're going to come and lock arms with you, so you guys can achieve the goal together. Okay, so let's talk about this. We're going to reflect in a few things right now. So today is February 1st. Of course, we were talking about this earlier. Here in the US, it's February 1st. For those of you who are home in other continents, it's February 2nd already. Now, I want you guys to take a to grab a pen and pad, and I need you to jot something down. Okay, think about this. Write down your name. Of course, don't show that to anybody. Okay, I need you to write down what's your name. For example, for me, I would just write my name is Lucie. How old are you? Write your age. Okay, and think about this now. 100 years from now, 100 years from today, if you're lucky, even your kids will still be here. It's very difficult to, I mean, to live until 100 years. But I chose 100, the number 100, because sometimes we say, oh, 100 years from now, it's not, I mean, it's a lot, but also it's very short when it comes to human lives. Life is short. You don't have enough time. You don't have time to waste. You don't have time to just, play here and do things that don't make any sense. You don't have time, young people. You really don't have time. We don't have time. Even myself, I have actually less time than most of you guys left. Okay. There's a big chance that even your children won't be even on earth anymore. The question I have for you is, what will be your legacy? What will be your legacy? Think about it. And you can actually write this down if you think about something right now. Think about what you want people to say about you once you're gone. I remember last year at this time, actually, I got invited to teach in an early college here in the US, here in North Carolina. And I remember I had this conversation with them, and it was actually right before at the beginning, before I even did my training. And there's that young man. He was in his 20s, about 22, 24. And when I asked this question, he shouted, "Oh, I don't even think about that yet." And I'm like, "Wow, you don't think about what will be your legacy yet at in your 20s?" Of course, many people don't think, and I'm telling you guys, I know people who are in their 50s and 60s. They don't even think about their legacy yet, and that's sad. And I hesitated a lot because I know on this call right now, there are people who are, some of you are 13, 15, 17, and 21, 22, 24. And I'm thinking in my mind, I almost didn't want to ask you the question because I was thinking, oh, maybe it's too early. I don't want to be too tough on them. And I was like, but in the meantime, when I, I took time to think, and I said, you know what? It is time. If I do not ask you this type of questions, you're not going to think. You're going to sit there fooling around thinking you have a lot, still a lot of time ahead of you. Life is short, guys. Like I said earlier, it's not that I don't want you to have fun. It's not that I don't want you to enjoy your life. It's not that I don't want you to live your life, the life of your dream, but I'm thinking about this way. If you have this information early enough, you are not going to end up becoming the adult that you criticize today, the adult that you don't like. When you look around, when you look in your government, when you look in your churches, when you look in your life, everywhere, in your neighborhoods, in your everywhere. I mean, your community, your district, your village. When you look at the leaders, the people who are in charge today, when you look at them, you look at the actions they take. If you're not happy with those actions and you want to take over one day, you want to be able to take over one day, you want to be in a position to make a difference, and so that you can do things better, you're going to have to think about those questions early. You have to. Okay. So that's it for today. I'm so excited. I'm glad we had this conversation, guys. Thank you so much for having me. Um, Thank you so much, guys. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful that I had a chance to come once again and have this conversation with you. And Mr. Gijokan, I'm done. And if you have any questions, I'm here.
I would like, first of all, to again to thank you very much for this brilliant expose coming from the heart. And I remember when you called me after you were contacted by the young people that I say, I'm just like you, right? They are running the
Yes,
show. So
that is
uh,
correct. I'm so proud of them. They are
they tell me
so.
what to do, you know, they tell
Oh
me
my
what to do.
gosh.
And I'm very proud of that team. And I'm so happy your message is in line with that way of looking, thinking. We have folks like, you know, remember all of them, Irely, Rodrigo, and you know, Santiago, all of them, they are here and they're actually the one making this happen. And I'm so thankful. So I think there'll
Wow.
be time for some few Q&A. I'll turn over to Rodrigo. Rodrigo, are you there?
Yes, Guy, I'm
Okay, so
here.
yeah, you guys are running the show. So you go ahead and take over.
Also, thank you so much, Miss Lucy, for your amazing conference. It was
My
really good, and
pleasure.
I think that everybody here, all the delegates, will use all the knowledge that you bring to us at this night. So we have a small time for Q and A. We're a little we're on the time. So anybody who has a question, please can raise your hand in the Zoom settings and can make the questions. Okay. First we have Frankin. Oh, he lowered her hand. Okay. So Laura Suarez, uh, go ahead.
Thank you for recognizing me. First, I would like to say that I think I saw your book somewhere earlier, and then I saw it at the end of the presentation. I was, oh my god, I've seen that book. That's so nice. So I think you're very awesome, and thank you for giving us this talk. And I would like
Laura,
to,
yeah,
yes.
please go ahead and introduce yourself, the country you're
Oh,
coming
okay.
from, your
Yes.
age, the country
Thank
and
you.
age. So that's
I'm
you
so
had the sense of
sorry.
it. It's okay. No.
That's
So go ahead.
okay.
My name is Laura Suarez Naranjo. And
Mhm.
I'm 17, and I'm from Colombia.
Oh,
Um, I'm actually Secretary General for my school's MUN. So,
okay.
I try to help like the kids that are under me and they're part of my team to, be better and inspire more kids to get into the team. And I wanted to ask you if it's okay if I share some of the reflections that you shared with us today with them. I took some
Absolutely.
screenshots to take notes later, so I was
Mhm.
going to ask you if it's okay if I share it with them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. I
No
think it
problem.
was very inspiring.
Thank you so much, Laura. Thank you for being here. You have another question?
Yeah,
Another
we have
question?
we have three more people that are raising their hands. So we have now Innocent Effiong. Innocent, are you there?
Innocent.
Okay, looks like he's free. I think so. We're gonna keep going with Aisan Jami. Sorry if I spelled wrong your name. Aisan, are you there?
Who is
Just connecting to audio.
next question?
Aisan, do you want to make a
Yeah.
question?
Oh, okay. I guess you hear me. Well, in our life, sometimes we want to do something that, for starting to do that thing, we need others' help.
Mm-hmm.
So, and sometimes we want to help other people, and we believe that if we just let that person grow, we can understand that person. My question is how we can find the people that can help us. Um, I mean, without in the first level, and how we can show other people that we can help them too.
Okay. It depends on the project. So, what do you can you be a little bit more specific? Do you have a project that you want to work on, and just give me an example because it depends on what you want to do exactly? Okay. Do you have? Can you give me an example?
For example, I want to do research. I don't know, for example, anything about research. I need a person to
Mhm.
train me, and I need a person to let me enter into research world. So, how can I find that person?
Okay. First of all, the good news about research and mentoring and everything is that there are a lot of there's a lot of information online right now as we speak. Okay, if you want to do research in, it depends on the topic. For example, let's say you want to go to maybe to university or maybe to college. Is that, is that a good example? Okay, I'm going to assume. Okay, let's say you want to go to college and then you need someone to to um to mentor you, and you want to have access to that person. The first thing, this is this is very key about mentorship. The first thing you have to do is, can you do some research about that person? Imagine you are maybe in a university or maybe in a college, and you want to work with maybe a professor or whatever, something like that, or maybe one of the leaders in the school. What you can do is you can start doing some research about the person. I'm going to tell you why. Because if you come and ask for help to someone and you don't even know that, you don't know anything about them, in like at least the minimum, they're gonna feel like you didn't even do your homework. Okay, that's just your homework. So what you want to do is, if I want someone to mentor me, I will go, maybe usually leaders have either their website or their, maybe on the university's website, you can find enough information about them. And I'm going to tell you why you have to find that information, because leaders usually they already give a lot of information for free, or for just for the public to see. Once you go over there, maybe you can find what you're looking for already, just by looking at their website, but just by looking at their um the university websites, things like that. Once you're done, if it's not enough, now you can contact them by sending them an email. You can introduce yourself. You can introduce yourself and say something like, "Hey," you can introduce yourself very, very, very professionally and say, "My name is, this." For example, me, I'm going to say something like, "My name is Lucie Matsuaka. I admire you. I have a lot of respect for the work that you're doing, maybe here in this college or here in this university, and I would love to have a chance to work with you, or to assist you." And when you're looking for a mentor, always put it in a sense, like, always put it this way: I want to come and assist you. Because you always have to give them something in return, because they're busy. These are busy people. Maybe they have a lot of things to do here and there. And if they allow you in their presence, you're gonna you're gonna learn a lot just by being there, just by helping them doing this or that. So that's how you can approach that. In my experience, I've done that personally a few times and it worked. And there are some people who approached me in the past, and if I actually, of course, I didn't accept everybody, but the only reason why I even accepted the few people that I had with me was because I was extremely busy, and they were offering to help, by doing something in return. You understand that, right? And so that's, you always have to come with, okay, what can, if you can allow me to be with you and learn from you, what can I know, how can I help you advance your work, for example. And I'm telling you, if they have time, like I said, for me, anytime I said no to that type of request, it's not because I didn't want to do it. It's just because maybe I was just too busy and I couldn't focus on other people. Okay. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
No
And your
problem.
Aisen, can you tell
information
us
were
your
very.
city and your age?
My age, I am 13 years old and I'm from Iran.
Oh
Okay,
my
thank you.
goodness. So you are in Iran right now and you are
Yeah.
13.
Yes.
Oh my God, guys, listen,
Very little.
can I just say something to you guys? I'm so impressed. I wish I was like you guys when I was 13. Oh my gosh. You killing me here. I feel like I next time I have to learn from you. You are no, they are excellent.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
definitely.
This is amazing. Okay,
Yes.
next question.
Good. No, I wanted to add something to what you just said,
Mm-hmm.
Lucy, because I think it's very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
The first one of the first intern we ever had at UNESCO Center for Peace was 11 years old girl. Okay,
Wow.
and she applied and she rang the bell so many times. And one day, her mom called me and tried to set a meeting. In my head, I said I didn't have time to babysit. The mother said, just take a moment and talk to her so that to leave her confidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I set up the appointment, it was just to make her not feel bad and recomfort her because actually I didn't have time. Like Lucy said, sometimes we don't have time. But I'm telling you, after I talked to that girl, I find time for her to be part of the team.
Wow.
Suki became an intern and she was a valuable member of the UNESCO Center for Peace. I'm just telling you, just to reinforce whatever Lucy said.
Mm-hmm.
When you go in there, bring the best you can be, or you never know.
Yes.
That's a very, very important advice she's giving you. And that's what I wanted to add to that. Thank you, Lucy.
No problem. That's good. Next question.
Thank you, Miss Lucy. We're running out of time, but we have space for one more question, the last one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna call Frank King. I know that you want to talk.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm gonna ask a question. It's like, that I'm really impressed in your talk of leadership. So I'm gonna ask a question that when sometimes our dreams or project failed, very tragically or something like that, and how we supposed to get up if we, that project or your dream fail and you lose like beliefs of a friend. So what are we gonna do? Supposed to find courage and supposed to get up.
Wow. How old are you? Is that Frank? Frank.
Yeah.
Frank. Okay. Where are you? Are you in which country are you in?
I'm in China.
You in China. I love your question. I will tell you why I love your question. Because this question comes a lot, like so many times. So if I understand, I'm just going to make sure I understand clearly. You mean if when you fail, what do you do? Is that correct?
Yeah.
You keep going, Frank. You keep going. Do you remember at some point I asked you, I said you have to first answer the question, why am I doing what I want to do? Why? Remember I asked you guys to think about 3 questions. Number 1, why do I want to do what I want to do? And why should anyone care anyway? Number 2, I said, how am I going to go about it? And the third question was, what am I looking for? The reason why I ask for why is because, we are emotional human beings, right? Human beings have a lot of emotions, okay, Frank? And anything that is close to your heart, you're going to run for it. I'm going to give you an example.
Okay.
I'm going to give you an example. The only reason why I fight so hard in other parts of my life is because I have kids, and I know if I'm not fighting hard enough, they're not going to have food tomorrow, or they're not going to have the knowledge that they need to know more, or it's something like that. I'm going to give you I don't know. It has to be close to your heart. Once you figure out why you're doing what you're doing, it's going to be, and that reason cannot be money. Please, guys, I have to bring this. Whatever you do, it cannot be money, because money doesn't move people. Okay? If you say I'm going to do this or that because I need to get rich, it's not going to work. Imagine, Frank, that you go down the street with your parents and you see a kid that is maybe, let's say, 6 years old, and he's an orphan. Maybe his father is dead, his mother is dead. How are you going to feel about it? Just answer me that question. Answer right now and tell me, how are you going to feel about this kid?
So I'm feeling right in my heart. It's like I'm really sad, and I feel pretty sympathy to it.
Exactly. Because you're sad, imagine that it creates something in you, and you said, you know what? if I had the money right now, maybe I was going to build an orphanage. Maybe I was gonna have the right structure so that this kid could have a new home or whatever. If you, that's just an example, okay? If you have that idea in your heart, just because it hurts you so much to see a kid struggling with no food, with no mom, no dad, that's the reason why I'm telling you, you're not going to give up. Even if people if you knock on this door and people say no, you're going to knock on that door, the other people are going to say no. I promise you, you can go back, and it's that the reason why you do it is going to keep you strong. And when people, Frank, if you knock on 10,000 doors, okay, and people
Huh?
say no, and people say no all the time, trust me, I promise you, at some point someone is going to say, oh my goodness, Frank believes in that so much, maybe I should listen to him and see if I can do something with you. And that's how you recruit people to buy into your vision and work with you. That's the reason why I said at the beginning, you got to start by yourself and you show the results that you have. And every time you come back and you show to the people already what you've been able to accomplish, and people are going to be like, oh, wait a minute, maybe I want to be a part of this movement. That's how you're going to grow. And that's how you're going to be able to recruit a few more people. People are going to be like, oh, maybe I can be a part of it. And even the people who were against you, or even the people who were like, I don't think Frank can do that. Trust me, once you start succeeding, they're going to turn around and they're going to come in and support you in your mission. And that's you. And listen to me, Frank. Don't ever give up, okay? Don't.
Okay.
Don't ever give up, okay?
Okay. So
That's good.
I think of a Chinese sentence that's very good, like 人心齐，泰山移, and we translate it into English when our hearts is like fall into a dream, and maybe we could move a mountain. Yeah. Yeah, we have a heart to keep it, to follow it, never forgive it.
Yes, good.
Good. I think
Good
this is
job.
wonderful.
Wow.
We could have finished in a better way than the here. So, Lucie, you are part of the family now. So I want to just thank you for the time. I know the energy that you put into this, and it shows. The student can feel your heart through this, and we do this because we believe in them, and we believe that if we are doing our part. And to all the delegates that are here listening, again, when you find that why, again, some people call it the purpose, because when you have that why, it becomes the engine that will let you move on and not give up. Okay. So I want to thank you, and before we're going to turn over to them, but we just want, as a token of appreciation, Lucie, you have a citation from us. You'll be collecting them.
I know. Thank you. Oh my goodness.
This is just a token of appreciation from us. Say, for all that hard work you are doing, thank you from the bottom of our heart. Okay. So,
my pleasure.
Thank you very much. And like I say, you are part of the family, and there'll be other, opportunity whenever we see a student that will benefit from your expertise, from your knowledge. We'll definitely knock at the door, knowing that even if you have to knock 10,000 times, now they know.
It's called persistence, right?
Yes,
You gotta be persistent.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Rodrigo, back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Guy, and also thank you so much, Ms. Lucie, for your incredible conference. I know that everybody here enjoyed it, and thank you so much. And we hope that we can have you in another opportunity again here in UNESCO Center for Peace.